I've got to say, I'm not very happy. I mean, I was going to get ready to record, and then I thought I'd see what type of news was going on with anime. Then I find this little article right here with the Anime News Network, written by Kim Morrissey. So, without any further ado, guys, Oimin and welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime, and welcome to a Yuusha Bulletin. This is take 3 because I noticed in the last recording I did I messed up somewhere, so let me try this one more time. So, this article. I'm not surprised that Australia's trying to ban something yet again, because let's be honest, they try and almost ban anything. They're almost as bad as China. But that might be a bit of a gross generalization there, but excuse me. Anyway, the title of this is The Australian Senator Calls for Review of Anime Depicting Child Exploitation. Okay. Okay, let's see what this senator has to say to try and back this claim. South Australia Senator Sterling Griff is calling for a review of all anime and manga currently accessible in Australia, expressing concerns about media depicting child exploitation. In a speech to Australian Parliament on Wednesday, he highlighted anime and manga depicting wide-eyed children, usually in school uniforms, engaged in explicit sexual activities and poses and often being sexually abused. This article was also written up after the official source, which is this one up here, but I'll go into that in a minute. In particular, he highlighted the Eromanga Sensei anime series, one that is very popular but not a lot of people liked in general, so easy target, describing it as a show that heavily features incest themes and features many scenes that are so disturbing I just can't describe them. Oh boy, you do not want to read Made in Abyss, my friend. You are not going to like it. This series is rated MA15 plus in Australia. Right. So yeah, I'm gonna go straight off the bat with Eromanga Sensei as disturbing, right? I know some more manga that you'd find way more disturbing than this, including Dokumushi, I believe it's called, which is the experiment of when cockroaches are in a jar and they eat each other to survive. And it even got a film in Japan, and that had many messed up themes, including things like cannibalism. There was even a character that was really paedophilic in there. I would understand if you used something like Dokumushi, but no, you went for Eromanga Sensei, which has themes, but doesn't actually have that in it. So, well done. Just well done for just picking something that was very popular. Just to put this view on it. He criticised the Australian Classification Board for rating media in isolation from criminal law. They classified it by the guidelines they're provided by the government. So you're saying to your own government, you're doing this wrong. Okay, it is illegal to produce, possess, or distribute pornography or abuse material depicting a person under the age of 18. Okay, so you're claiming that Eromanga Sensei is abuse material, but you're not specifying under which materials that is. Is it abuse? Is it sexual? Is it which theme is it? Because there's a few. Is it emotional even? Because you've left it so open on there, you haven't actually said exactly what type it would be. And there was a case in 2008 of a New South Wales Supreme Court judge ruled that a pornographic cartoon depicting characters from The Simpsons was child material. Not going to say the last word. And yes, I did have a read through this. The guy got, I believe, 2 years in like a behavioural facility as well as a 3,000 Australian dollar fine. Yeah, 2-year behaviour bond in respect to the charges. I don't agree with the pictures that they made, but there's a thing called the Barbra Streisand effect. The more attention you give something, the more people are going to go look for it, even if you tell them not to. Curiosity killed the cat, as they say, so why tell them over and over not to go and see something, because that would drive them to go and look at it. Not saying that it's a good thing that he's made, don't get me wrong. I don't encourage making this stuff at all, personally myself, but at the end of the day I have to tell myself it's a drawing and it's not real. It's just ink on a piece of paper. It is not real, and therefore it is not harming actual people. I'll be concerned if people are showing this to children, definitely. definitely, if they're doing that, that is messed up. But the way that I'm looking at this right now is it's a drawing and it doesn't exist. As much as I hate it, as much as I've seen some of the more disturbing stuff on the internet myself. But anyway, back to this article. Japan's current child hair laws. Fictional depictions such as anime and manga are exempted from the law. Yes, because they are not real. They don't exist. They are not living, breathing people. It is paper. You turn it over, there's a blank canvas. Nothing there. It isn't real. And even when it comes to more off-brand stuff, like the actual anime off-brand, they're always voiced by somebody that's over 18. And by the way, just so you know, Australia... which some of you, if you're watching it, you probably already know. They have little notices in there saying, by the way, this is all fiction. Do not confuse fantasy with reality, because this is not real. And they even encourage you not to do it in real life. They put that in nearly everything. So even Japan's aware, by the way, don't confuse this for reality, because it's not real. But let's actually go to the Canberra Times article right now, which you can see there's a dramatic change in the title name, which is Senator Calls for Child Abuse Anime Review. So it's jumped from being depicting child exploitation to straight up child abuse. Even though they're all voiced by women over the age of 18 and none of them are real, and by the way, these are all plastic models. I think the author of this, Matt Coughlin, has got a bit advised already, because you can see right here there is a dark side to anime and manga that depicts child exploitation. So I can easily solve one part of that right now, which is the age of consent in Japan, which is 13. I don't agree with it myself, but that's Japan. I'm living in Japan right now, and they have a much lower rate of paedophilia than Australia does. So it's not like Australia can actually say that they're doing better than Japan in that field at all. I'm sorry, but if I remember, Japan was 51st. And I think Australia. Let's see, Australia. I failed at spelling. Sorry, Australia child abuse ranking. Yeah, and just so you know, it's in the top 11 already. Look, child abuse and neglect. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty bad. Let's see if I can find this quickly. I should have actually got this up. And it's a study from Australia itself, from the Australian Government, Australian Institute of Family and Studies. So let's have a look, shall we? So 2015-16, there's over 350,000 notifications, and in 2016 there has just been around 160,000 total finalized investigations. And then if we go down, look, total for notifications, total investigations, total substantions, and look at how many are on children. And they are one of the top in the world, mind you. So Japan is somewhere around 51st the last time I checked. So it's not like Australia is doing anything to solve their problem with it there, when Japan has this as their one of the top 3 marketing things in their entire country. Like, it's one of their main industries. And their rate of child abuse, which is what I'm going by the title, is much lower than Japan. Hypocrites. Actually, no, that's not quite the right word. Not hypocrites. No. It's like... Let me rephrase that. I find it rich that they're trying to say this is the main cause for all of it, when in Japan they have a much lower rate of these events, these child abuse events. But there is one bit in this entire argument right here, this article, that makes me very, very annoyed. So they became... we've already read that part before. Japanese law exempts manga from anime because it's not real people. And here is the bit that really riles me up the wrong way, is this line right here, just this whole bit. Experts have warned explicit anime and manga can be used by pedophiles as tools to groom children and act as a gateway to the abuse of real children. Wow. Wow, okay. So you're saying it is that anime is a tool for it. Like, that is the primary use of it. Like, that is the main role of it, is to get people on this train of looking at kids. Really? You realize that these types of people existed way before anime and manga did, right? You realize people who looked at kids like that existed way before anime existed. Get bent. Just get bent. Like, seriously, do you really think that anime is the main cause? No, it's not. It gives way to creepy people, but most of the weeps don't even get dates because most of them are ridiculed for watching anime anyway. And unfortunately, that does lead to some cases of bullying, but that's a whole other story in general. I don't agree with that statement as a whole. I think that's a gross misgeneralization of near enough every single anime. Because I don't think that's the case. I honestly don't think that that's the case. And I can easily go with the example of the UK. The UK when it comes to grooming. Oh dear. And that one's a dark topic because in the UK it's very bad. And we've recently had an investigation going to the people that are main causes behind it. Let me tell you this, no anime was mentioned. So how rich of you to try and say that is one of the ways to groom children, whilst in the UK, where we actually have a grooming gang problem, anime's never in it. So you have no proof to prove that is to groom children. If you do, I would love to see it. And also, guys, if you've got any stories that also have backed this up, or you've probably found something that I don't know of, please let me know and try and prove me wrong on this one, because I'm open to any interpretation, and I'd love to get your guys' feedback as well. But that one statement right there rubs me up the wrong way. For the reason being that drawings aren't real, and they're used as a release. And also, most people are straying away from dating girls now anyway, so they just look at things online, and that's just that. But to say it's a tool to groom children, that's a strong claim, you know. And I would love to see if you have any proof to back that up, Senator. That is a strong claim, and a gross misconception of anime as a whole. Because that is the image you're giving anime now, is that it is literally a gateway to make kids be endangered by adults who watch it. You know there are kids animes like Pre-Power, right? Pre-Power exists and it's for kids. Hold on, some of the old Sonic the Hedgehog animes. Doraemon. Doraemon is now a certified sexual predator children. Sorry about that. Oh, dear me. So, the bit that was slightly wrong, I had to correct it a bit. I know it's nitpicking, but he said the word serious was Eramanga Sensei. You have not read a lot of anime, or seen a lot of anime, or read manga. You really haven't seen a lot, because this is a thing that not a lot of people liked. It got 6.7 on my anime list. It was in the top 250 most viewed, or most popular, but it's not, and it's like 4,800 odd on the list. So well done, you chose a popular example that not a lot of people liked. But the age for the main girl was 13 and the brother was 16. Age of consent is 13 in Japan. Don't agree with it myself because that will worry the hell out of me. But hey, they've got less paedophilia problems than Australia does, so I don't know. So he's wanting an immediate review of all Japanese anime movies currently accessible in Australia. And this is a bit that makes me laugh. Any of you watch the old Dragon Ball? Yeah, that one scene where Kakarot was naked. Yeah, that can be deemed as child abuse in this. So yeah, Dragon Ball can be banned easily, right off the bat. One Piece could possibly be banned. Gintama could possibly be banned. How many anime are going to be banned? Just remember that these things don't exist and they're all voiced by people over the age of 18. Also, adult sites with people that are barely 18. We don't know that. Usually they're supposed to check, but we don't know. And most of these girls, just like Nickelodeon, if you look at Nickelodeon as well, they all look like they're under 18, but they're supposed to be over 18. I mean, come on, really? So, For real, people. You're going to allow this, and I'm going to go into this right now because there's a whole bit on IMDb for most popular child abuse series or films. Joker being the most popular one as of recently, which he was quite heavily bullied. Supernatural has cases of that. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, he gets pushed around by his aunt and his uncle at the age of 11, and his cousin also is extremely horrible to him as well. Should Harry Potter now be banned because it has things relating to child abuse? Forrest Gump, when he was bullied as a child and beaten by bullies. Is that child abuse? Stephen King's book of It. Not the film, but the book, because there's a scene where the kids gang bang. In the book. Should the book be banned? The story was amazing, but it is ink. It was a very hard scene to read. I felt so uncomfortable reading that whole scene. But the rest of the book was amazing. Should that be banned? Or is it only anime? Are you only attacking anime despite there being so many films and so many series like Law & Order Special Victims Unit, which has all of the victims being sexually abused in some way, whether they're underage or of age? Should that now be banned? Or is it only anime? Because if you're going one way, then you have to go another. It cannot be a one-way street. Because loads of people will point out this hypocrisy and say, hold on a minute, you're missing out something. What about this lot and that lot? Why is it only this? If you're going to go for the child exploitation argument, then that doesn't really uphold well when you ignore all these major popular series, like Avatar, for God's sake. I mean, most people who have ever watched cartoons, loads of people who have watched Avatar loved it and called it one of the best TV series of all time. Even mainstream TV calls it that. But since it rolls under child abuse, does that mean Avatar should now be banned? Where will it start and where will it end? That is the question that I have for the Australian senator right now. Because he's only looking at anime whilst ignoring a gross load of TV shows and films that loads of people love. Loads of people love them. And there will be things in anime that have those things that people will love. For example, Made in Abyss. Ho, goodness me, what a great anime. Whoa. The Promised Neverland, which aired quite recently. Will that now be banned? Most likely by your rules of exploitation. Because you haven't discussed like what type of exploitation it is, but I'm guessing you're going on the sexual part. Which I doubt it's going to be, and I think you're going to go from multiple angles because you never actually went into details of which parts it was. I think this is going to backfire, and I think it's going to fail. But if they do go through with this, then I think Australia is kind of done because they're going to lose quite an influx of, tradables with Japan by a fair margin. A fair margin, definitely. They're going to lose one good import that has been growing over the past, 10 to 20 years. The anime has been getting popular for the past 10 to 20 years, and it's getting even more so as of recently. So they are going to make a bad mistake by banning these sort of animes without clarifying under these ideas of what that title means. And I just say, get over yourself. It's a drawing. And even the Japanese representative of anime herself, yes, she is a lady. When the UN tried to ban anime for a similar reason of saying it had child exploitation of minors, she just went on there and said, by the way, you all are wasting your time. Haven't you got actual problems you need to solve? Because these anime that have all these characters that don't even exist, they are drawings, and they are all primarily voiced by women, and majority of them are represented by women. And quite a few of the makers of these anime and these mangas as well, quite a few of them are women. So, even the Japanese representative of anime is like, are you guys seriously trying to give rights to a drawing? And I agree. It's a drawing. It doesn't exist. Get over yourself. And if you don't like it, don't be such a baby. Don't be such a baby. Because right now you're having a little hissy fit throwing your toys at your pram and saying, I want it banned, based on maybe this being the only thing you read. I'm sorry, Sterling Griff, but Eromanga Sensei isn't all there is to anime, and if you don't like it, don't read it. Doesn't mean you have to ban it for the rest of the bloody country who could have a different viewpoint from you. And they also, I'm pretty sure a majority of them know as well, that these drawings aren't real. But anyway, that is... Whew, I kind of semi-ranted at the end, apologies about that. But that is my coverage of this little article. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me. And please let me know down in the comments if I've missed anything out on this subject, or if you want to ask me any questions at all whatsoever. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'm always welcome to new comments as well. And I'll also link all these articles down below. So, guys, I'll most certainly see you next time. Australian people, protect your anime.